All right, so let's talk about the meal. With that said, what we like to do is know one, are you going to have a meal at your reception? Because that will greatly impact how the rest of the event goes because of the amount of time that it takes. All right. So once we understand that information, then we like to know what time approximately, you don't have to be spot on, but what time would you like the meal to begin or do you expect it to begin? So once we understand that information, we can link up with your other vendors like could be your photographer, your videographer, your caterers to ensure that everything is on the right time line. And so, with that said, once we understand that, we can certainly set that up in your timeline. Next, is there a blessing that you would like? Sometimes there's a blessing that will be done before the meal is served. And so, if we know the relationship, maybe to the bride and groom, or maybe as a family friend, um, we can certainly introduce that person and allow them to do a blessing before the meal. Next would be, are you going to have a buffet meal, or is it going to be a sit down meal? Okay, and again, that greatly impacts the amount of time that it takes. So understanding that will help guide us through the event. Okay, and then if it's a buffet meal, then we can oftentimes help with that. Now, sometimes the venue may have requirements that they will dismiss tables. However, if you prefer, myself could myself could actually handle that for you. And so, what that might look like is we can have different things. So, again, keeping in mind your overall perception of how you want your celebration to look is probably how you want to tie this in. So, for example, one of the things that you can do is you can say which table is the loudest, and what this does is it kind of gets your tables kind of riled up before everything. Oftentimes through the meal portion, it's a slower pace. There's kind of mild music going on in the background. So what that does is it kind of really brings some energy to your event. So you can certainly do stuff like that. And plus, whenever other guests hear people yelling and screaming, they want to know what's going on. And so it gets them like excited and, want to know what's going on as well. Okay. So that's one thing that you can do. Another thing that we can do is, and this takes a little bit of time on your end as well as mine, but what we can do is do bride and groom trivia. I normally don't recommend this unless everybody at your celebration is going to know a lot about you and your fiance. And so it makes it a bit challenging in some cases to be able to do a game like that. Like I said, if they don't know much about your past. So I would say this rarely happens, but you're more than welcome to do this. And all I need is you to provide some basic information about things that I can ask your guest, and then I'd be happy to do that for you. Okay? So, again, just an option for you. Another option, this is not actually on my planning guide, but we can certainly implement it, is having your guests think of a song that has the word love in it. And then what I will do is I will walk around and each table is going to nominate one person to sing that section of the song that has the word love in it. And so this is kind of neat because it gives people the opportunity to kind of talk and get interactive. And then also it gives somebody a chance to kind of spotlight themselves and kind of get up and sing. And it's just a unique way of doing it, but you have to have the right crowd for it. I've done it. I'd say every time I've done this, I've had great success with it, and everybody really loved it. And that was one of the things that they remembered throughout the event. So it's a really cool thing to do. But again, if it's not your style, totally understand. We want to incorporate this just for you. So you choose what works best for you in that case. Okay? All right. All right. Well, that concludes this section of it. And of course, actually, as I'm shutting down this section of it, if there's any other things that you've seen that you've liked at other events, mention that as well, and I'd be happy to incorporate that for you. I'm totally open to any unique ideas, and I know on the internet there's a million ideas being thrown out every second. So certainly let me know, and we can definitely incorporate that for you. All right, moving on to the next section. See ya.